Righty ho, everybody. I hope everybody is having a good Friday. This is kind of late for me today, but I was around busy getting stuff, getting my husband's birthday present, and getting stuff for our trip and everything, and sort of doing stuff, getting ready to get beautiful, get my little nailsies done and my toesies done for our little trip and all that stuff, and just around running, doing stuff, making stuff happen. And today I'm gonna do a vlog, and as you know, I do vlogs and I talk about different information, talk about my life, I talk about stuff I see, I talk about stuff I observe and all this stuff. And I'm not going to really go into kind of all the stuff that's been going on and all the horrific tragedies here, there, and everywhere, all the way around the United States and sure all around the world and stuff, because everybody already knows that and stuff. And I've been sad enough about sad news and everything, and since I'm getting ready to have a birthday, I just would rather be in a celebratory sort of mood during this time and stuff. So I'm getting ready to celebrate our birthdays and everything. And my husband and I just came back from having some ice cream, just, had dinner tonight, and then decided to go down and sit at the Baskin Robbins and have some ice cream, because there's nothing like cold ice cream on a cold day. There's just nothing in the world quite like that. I don't know if anybody knows the joy of eating ice cream on a cold day, but I certainly do, and I certainly love doing that. In the meantime, I'm just going to talk a little bit about options today, and having options, and what it means to have options, and what it means for you to have options, and how it makes your life better. And it makes life better. It just does make life better. And I'm always really happy that I have so many options, and stuff. It's much better than not having a choice. Not having a choice can put you in a situation where you end up angry and resentful and bitter because you have no choice. And really, having no choice comes from making a bad choice, usually, and stuff. At some point, people make a bad choice, and then they end up in a kind of a situation that there's just no way to kind of get out of. You're there, you're stuck, you can't really do anything, and stuff like that. So, me making good choices gives me options, and has given me options all throughout my life. Me deciding to go to college gave me options that other people didn't have. And I know people sometimes think, well, it's just not fair, all you just went to college and had a piece of paper. But I did more than just that, and stuff. And it's not to diminish what other people do or have done, but I did more than just go to some place and get a piece of paper. I worked, and stuff. And while other people were maybe working at some job for money, I wasn't working for money. I was just working for a grade, and I was dedicated and committed and responsible and stuff. And at the end, I got rewarded for that, and stuff. I ended up with a pretty good job for a long, long time, and a job that I enjoyed. Now, even now that I decided not to work anymore and stuff, I still have an option of, well, what if I decide to go back to work, or what if I decide to start a business, or what if I decide to write, or what if I decide to grant write, or whatever it is I want to do. I have lots and lots of options. So does my husband. My husband went to school and became an engineer. And although right now he just works as a quality engineer in aerospace, he has lots and lots of options. He could go at some point and become a certified quality engineer or a professional engineer. And that means when, he can decide at some point, well, maybe I don't want to engineer for a company full time. Maybe I just want to consult for people as a professional engineer. Maybe I just want to help people with stuff. Because trust and believe, when I was a paralegal, we hired lots of people who were professional engineers to help us with cases. We hired tons, and stuff. And so it's a good career and a good thing for him to do. And he made that choice, so now he has an option. we both also made the choice not to have kids while we weren't married to anybody, which now gives us much more options at this point. Now, you know, we don't have children and we're trying to have a child, and we just keep giving it a certain amount of time, and then we're just going to kind of stop trying, and stuff. It's no big deal. We'll give it a certain amount of time and then we'll stop trying. But because we, both of us, didn't have any kids previous to us sort of finding each other, we had a few more options when it came to looking for mates. And that's no slight on anybody that has children, and stuff, or single mother or single father. But the truth of the matter is, as a single mother or single father, you may not have as many options as people who don't already have a family and stuff, Even as somebody that is divorced with kids that has probably fewer options than somebody's divorced without kids, because I was divorced without children and stuff, which means I have no attachment to my ex-husband. We divorced and we're done, and stuff. We have no attachment. We're not in each other's lives. We don't know what the other one is doing, and we just went on with our lives and stuff, and so it gave me an option to look for someone who didn't have children and stuff. I could do that, and I could come in and tell somebody, well, I don't have kids, and which to them may make me a better choice for them. But it's a choice that I had to make, that I made early on, that gives me those options. I was talking to a friend on Twitter, and we were talking about, she was saying how she was starting a business, and and how it really has given her some options to have this income, this steady income flow, getting this steady income flow for herself going, and stuff. Essentially, that's what she was saying, and how it kind of freed her from being freaked out and worried about things, and stuff, because she had this. And essentially was talking about two incomes. Now, I live in a house under one income. But unlike most houses that live under one income, mine is not precarious because I have the option of always going back to work. I have the option of going and starting my own business if I wanted to, and stuff. And there's a couple of things I could do. I could always go back to teaching, and stuff, because I taught for 3 years and stuff. And I probably wouldn't go back to work full time, but if I wanted to go back to work part-time, there'd be a wealth of stuff that I could probably do, and stuff, because I have options. And even if you were a person that was a wife and not working and stuff, and I've said this before and I'll say this again, even if you meet a guy and you and the guy, fall in love and all this stuff, and he's really thinking and you're thinking, I don't want you to work no more. I want you to stay home with the kids, or I just want you to stay home alone. If I don't really want you to work anymore. There's something about a woman who could possibly work, or possibly has a plan or a plan B, that's always sort of more endearing, or more sort of, someone to gravitate towards, besides someone with absolutely no plan B, no nothing. She's just sort of there and stuff. And it's always better to have somebody who's got the possibility of doing something. Hey, times may get rough, stuff may get hard, things may not exactly work out and stuff. Somebody who has the possibility, who has some options, than somebody who doesn't. And so, as wife material, my thought would be, it would be better to be a wife material with some sort of career. I don't really care what kind of career it is, but something, going to college, getting an AA certification, some sort of career. It would be better than just sort of having nothing, and stuff, and really kind of nothing to, hey, as I say, bring to the table and stuff, and so making decisions early on in your life about whatever it is that you're going to do can make for better options at these later points in your life. I have so many more options and so many more choices as to what I could do by making better choices early on, and stuff. Um, it's amazing what that means. And yeah, if you're a woman wanting to start a business, I would say do it. If that's what you want to do, I would say do it, because it makes you a lot more flexible. Trust and believe. It makes you a lot more flexible during some of these times, and stuff. Tell you the truth, having a certification makes you a lot more flexible. And I'm not just talking about a degree. I'm talking about some kind of certification, because I am certified as a paralegal, which during the down times of the recession, and I also have a master's degree, so during the down times of the recession, I was actually employable, and stuff. I didn't have any problem finding my job teaching, because not only was I a person who had a long career as a certified paralegal, but I also had an advanced degree. So I had two things that those people were looking for. People were looking for an advanced degree. They didn't even care what the advanced degree was in, okay? They just wanted you to have one and stuff, So that gave me sort of the option to go ahead and get a job that most people wouldn't be able to get. Even if they would have had a BA and a paralegal certificate, they wouldn't have been able to get it. My husband, as an engineer, making the choice to do that, and I know he wasn't probably thinking that, he was just thinking I like engineering, but making the choice to be an engineer has made him employable. So during the time of the recession, when he went out and tried to find a job, do you know how long it took my husband to find a job? He went on one interview, and a week later, he had a job. That was during the big crux of the, recession, when nobody could get a job. People were looking for years and years and couldn't get a job, okay? He went on one. I thought maybe it would take him two. I thought maybe it would take him a month, okay, and stuff. But I knew he was an engineer, and I knew it wouldn't take long. I thought maybe it would take him a month. He went on one interview, and I think he didn't even go back for a second interview. He had an on-phone interview. He went in for an interview, and it was like a week or two later, and the guy called back and said, okay, we'll hire you, and stuff, And that was from making that choice. We have to think about those things. We just sort of do stuff, and we don't think about it. We don't think about what it is we're doing. I'm glad I got that certification as a paralegal. I needed some sort of career, even with the BA in history. I wasn't going to teach nobody and stuff, so I needed something that I could do. I'm glad I went and I got that paralegal certification, because it has served me well all these years. There's all kinds of stuff I could possibly do with that piece of certificate that I got in 9 months over at the University of Washington Extension. I mean, literally, and stuff. And I'm always really happy that I did that, and because it's helped me all my career. It's opened doors for me that wouldn't have been open. I'm always glad that I made some of the choices that I made, and stuff. Even with me having an ex-husband and deciding not to have kids with him, I don't know how that choice even came about. I just thought he wasn't that great of a husband. I kept thinking he would just make an awful father and stuff, So I thought, no, and stuff. And so it never occurred to me to have a baby with him, and stuff. Even though we were still married, I just kept thinking, But I was always happy that I made that choice. So now when I decided to try and have a child with somebody I really love, I think would be a really dynamite father and all this stuff, and we have a really great family, I can do that without him being still stuck. And I'm not talking about the child. I'm talking about him somehow being still stuck in my life and having him out of it. Those choices make sense. It's for you to think about right now, wherever you are. If you're a young person, if you're in your 30s, your 40s, 50s, whatever, you're still making choices that can still affect the rest of your life. Okay, trust and believe, okay, and stuff. What choices you're going to make that in the end gives you better options for your life. I'm not telling you what to do with your life. That's for you to figure out. It's not for me to figure out. It's not my job to tell you that. You have to figure out your own path. But think carefully about those choices. Think beyond, because most people don't really think beyond today. Think beyond today and what those things are going to mean to you in the future. What is it going to, what's going to happen 10 years from now or 5 years from now if I make this choice that I'm making right now? And maybe I was just, I don't know, I never thought I was particularly conscientious as a 20-year-old. I didn't. I bumbled around probably like a lot of people. I never thought I was particularly conscientious. But maybe I was more conscientious than I thought. I did think about stuff, and I always had the future kind of on my mind about, well, what is it? Where is it that I want to see? And it never, my future was never exactly the way I'd always pictured it, but it wasn't like this, hot heap of garbage mess either and stuff, and stuff. It was something that I could recover from, even if it was a bad decision. It was something that I could recover from, learn from, and then move on and stuff. But there are many choices that there is no recovery from. There is nothing but the choice. And then you're optionless, okay? And that's something to remember. There are some choices you can't ever come back from. And then you're optionless. So what is it you want for your life? What is it you want from your life? What do you see yourself? 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Yeah, it may not exactly come out like that. But what is it that you see yourself sort of at, doing, being, thinking, feeling, whatever, and stuff. And think about what it is you're doing today when it comes to maybe career or money or love or, education, whatever and stuff. It means something, and stuff. Because literally, if I wanted to go out and do something right now, if I decided, hey, I don't think I want to have a baby, or let's not have a baby, or I could go out and I could, kind of keep it moving, and stuff. If I wanted to go back to work for somebody else, I could go back to work for somebody else. And I'm at the point where I'm not so over the hill that nobody would hire me, and stuff. But if I wanted to be, I have enough experience, almost 15 years experience doing legal work, that I could say, hey, maybe I want to do this, start grant writing, or do, they have a thing here in Washington for people who want to be, sort of licensed paralegals and stuff, to do some legal work that doesn't actually have people represent people in court, but filling out forms and such things for people and stuff. I could certainly do that. I could go back to writing again. I could go back maybe to teaching again, and end up doing online teaching if I wanted to again. There's options for me and stuff that I actually want to do. Not that I have to do, stuff that I actually want to do and would enjoy doing. And that's the difference, is I have options to do stuff I enjoy doing. A lot of people have no options and are optionless and end up having to do stuff that they don't want to do. I don't want to be in that situation. And I'm glad I made the choices that I made so I didn't end up in that situation. Think about that. Think about that for yourself and for your own life. Like I say, this is your life. Only you have to live it. Only you have to deal with it. Only you get the punishment. Only you get the reward. And so it's for you to think about. But I want to let you know that yes, you can make it so you have more options. You can make choices so you have more options, because it is so nice to have options. Okay, so that's my little spiel for tonight, and so I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of the night. Bye-bye.